Young Frankenstein wasn't just a comedy, it was a resurrection. It dragged gothic horror and screwball parody back from the dead in black and white. But behind the scenes, nothing came easy. The studio hated the format, the title almost disappeared, and one scene pushed things so far the ratings board nearly slapped it with an R. These are 20 weird facts about Young Frankenstein. And tucked inside all that madness, a pair of giant platform boots that Mel Brooks wore to dinner just to prove a point. Stand clear, the sparks are about to fly. Number 1. Mel Brooks didn't just want to parody old Universal monster movies, he wanted it to look like one. From the start, he insisted on shooting in black and white. The studio panicked. They argued no one in the 1970s would pay for a black and white comedy. They offered more money, bigger promotion, even colorized previews. Brooks refused. He said if they forced color, he'd walk. At the last second, they backed down, with one condition: no advertising that it was black and white. Brooks agreed and shot it exactly as he imagined. It wasn't nostalgia, it was rebellion, and it gave the film the gothic beauty that made it timeless. Number 2. The scene that saved the film almost didn't survive. Brooks thought the Puttin' on the Ritz number was too weird, too long, too Broadway. He argued with Gene Wilder for days, begging him to cut it. Wilder refused. He believed in it, so they filmed it reluctantly. The first time Brooks saw it fully staged, he changed his mind completely. He didn't just approve it, he called it one of the best scenes in the movie. What began as conflict became comedy history. Number 3. Brooks ran a tight set, but Wilder and Marty Feldman didn't always follow the rules. Between takes, they whispered, tweaked lines, flipped jokes, changed timing. Brooks would shout, "Stick to the script," and they'd smile and change it again. At one point, Feldman rewrote his entrance with a completely different accent without warning. The camera rolled and the crew lost it. Brooks was furious until he saw playback. What he got wasn't just funny, it was alive, surreal, inventive. He gave them more freedom, not because he liked chaos, but because it worked. Number 4. Peter Boyle looked terrifying as the monster, but under the lights, he was miserable. Hours of makeup, latex, glue, prosthetics, trapped heat against his skin. Under studio lamps, it started melting. His face sagged, scars slipped, everything shifted. Filming stopped constantly so they could fix it. And through it all, Boyle barely complained. He sweated, stumbled, danced in a tuxedo, and turned discomfort into something unforgettable. Number 5. No one noticed at first. Igor's hump changes sides, right, then left, then gone, then back again. It wasn't a mistake, it was Feldman's joke. Without telling anyone, he moved it between scenes just to mess with people. When Brooks finally caught it, he laughed and told editors to leave it in. The gag became a hidden gem, never explained, never acknowledged. Number 6. Cloris Leachman didn't try to be funny as Frau Blucher. She played it cold, precise, almost eerie. Her strange accent felt unplaceable. Every line carried weight, even the absurd ones. And that's what broke everyone. Wilder cracked, Terry Garr turned away, the crew laughed behind the camera. Instead of toning her down, they cut around the laughter. They built scenes from whatever they could keep. The result? One of the film's most hypnotic performances. Number 7. Terry Garr wasn't the original choice. The studio had someone else, more dramatic, more refined. But behind-the-scenes disagreements reopened the role. Wilder recommended Garr. She arrived quietly, no pressure, no polish, and immediately understood the tone. She didn't play Inga as a joke, she played her like she knew the joke. Brooks watched her and knew instantly she wasn't replacing anyone, she was the role. Number 8. Gene Hackman, an Oscar-winning dramatic actor, wanted to try comedy just once. He told Wilder during a chance meeting. Wilder gave him the blind hermit role. Hackman filmed it in one day, burned Boyle's crotch, broke props, and played it completely straight. It became one of the most memorable cameos in comedy. Number 9. Brooks loved cameos, but Wilder forbade it here. He said it would break the illusion. This film had to feel real. Brooks agreed, mostly. He stayed off-screen but slipped in as sound effects, a wolf howl, a cat scream, a distant train. Number 10. For authenticity, they tracked down the original 1931 Frankenstein lab equipment. The creator still had it, in storage, fully functional. Tesla coils, switches, everything. It was shipped to set and used as is. Not imitation, resurrection. Number 11. No digital effects. Storm scenes were built physically. Rain rigs, wind machines, lighting systems. When activated, it flooded the set. Lights failed, chaos. The crew worked overnight to fix everything and resumed filming the next day. Number 12. Every time someone says Frau Blücher, horses scream. Brooks based it on a real woman he remembered, cold and intimidating. The joke had a strange personal root. Number 13. The studio hated the title. They suggested alternatives like Frankenstein Returns. Wilder refused. He said if the title changed, he'd leave. The studio backed down. Number 14. The Walk This Way gag became iconic. Years later, fans speculated it inspired Aerosmith's song Walk This Way. Never confirmed, but the timing raised eyebrows. Number 15. One line nearly got the film an R rating. Elizabeth's "The Sweet Mystery of Life" line was flagged as too suggestive. After multiple disputes, it stayed, and the film kept its PG rating. Number 16. The studio expected failure. Black and white, weird tone, minimal marketing. But audiences loved it. Word spread, it made over $80 million on a tiny budget. Number 17. Some older viewers thought it was an actual sequel to the original Frankenstein films. That was the goal, and Brooks achieved it. Number 18. The film earned 2 Oscar nominations but won none. Still, being recognized was a victory. Number 19. In 2003, the Library of Congress added it to the National Film Registry for cultural significance. Number 20. On the final day, the cast held a mock funeral for the film. Candles, speeches, accents, absurd and emotional. A perfect ending. Bonus fact. The monster's massive boots were heavy and awkward. After filming, Brooks kept them and wore them to dinner parties. When asked why, he said, "They make me feel taller and funnier." Young Frankenstein wasn't designed to be timeless. It came from instinct, memory, and love for horror. It didn't follow trends, it followed feeling, and somehow that made it last. And remember, it's pronounced Frankenstein,